The next article I wanted to look at is titled Robin Bullock Claims Prophets Have the Power to Call Trump Back into the White House. This is on rightwingwatch.org by Kyle Mantilla, so let's give it a read and see what it says. Right-wing pastor Robin Bullock used his church service Tuesday to urge his fellow prophets to come together and call former President Trump back to the White House, declaring that if they will do so, God will supernaturally move things out of the way to allow Trump to return. Bullock is among the various self-proclaimed prophets who guaranteed that Trump would win the 2020 election. Like many of those prophets, Bullock still refuses to accept that his prophecies were wrong, even though President Joe Biden has been in the White House for over a month. There's a clip that goes with it, so let's pull that up and see what Robin Bullock had to say.
What you need to do now, the stage is set. Everything is set. But you're going to have to pray for the rightful president, whether he wants to walk back into this or not.
Now that is fascinating to me. Let me tell you why I find that so fascinating. You guys remember before March 4th, I did a podcast at the time where I was talking about how March 4th was the new date, and Q people claimed that Trump was going to be inaugurated as the 18th or 19th president of the United States. I don't remember which. Obviously, Biden is the 46th president, not the 18th or the 19th. He's the 46th. The reason that they said Trump was going to be like the 19th president is because the Q people believe that when the Confederacy broke off from the Union and then rejoined at the end, they believe that the government that formed was no longer the Republic of the United States. It was no longer the U.S. government. It was a corporation. It's a huge conspiracy that involves a lot of, evil and subterfuge and blah, blah, blah. Back then, the inauguration date was March 4th. They changed it to January 20th back in like the 1930s or something. So they believed that Trump was going to be inaugurated as the real president of the U.S., the 19th president of the U.S., of the actual United States, rather than the corporation that Biden is a president of. And when that didn't happen, when he wasn't inaugurated on March 4th, I was just sitting here with bated breath, waiting to see how they'd respond to that. Here's their response. This is what Robin Bullock has come up with. This is how he's getting out of it.
He wants to walk back into this or not. You must pray that he wants to do it, because God won't make him do anything.
Boom. God won't make him do anything. So it's God's will that Trump is the president. That's what this guy is saying. He is the rightful president. That's what he's saying. But if he doesn't take the job, then he won't have the job. So Robin Bullock can come out on stage and say, I was correct. I was right all along. He has the job if he wants it. It's not Biden holding us up. It's Trump.
Is it his will? Yes. Is he the president? Yes. That's why he could just walk right back in. And God will supernaturally move things out of the way. But you need to pray for encouragement. Nobody.
This is honestly an ingenious way of addressing this problem. I mean, how the fuck do you answer for prophesying that Trump was going to be president and then he doesn't become president? How do you resolve that? Like, how do you fix that problem that you just created for yourself? What did Kat Kerr do? Doubled and tripled and quadrupled down. I've got clips of Kerr that I'll be talking about in the future, of her saying that there are people being arrested for treason and sedition and all of this other stuff right now because they won't let Trump back in. That is the dumb way. That's the bad way of doing this. This is the smart way, honestly. Come up with an unfalsifiable explanation for why you were wrong. Trump doesn't want to. If he wanted to, he could just walk back into the White House and take it. That's what this guy's saying. It's very genius.
Nobody was beat on like that, like our president, for 4 years. Nobody. Nobody's ever been beat like that.
Nobody? Not even Jesus? I mean, I think Jesus had it pretty bad, right? Maybe he didn't think that one through all the way.
And still stand with such optimism and speak with authority. Even now, the rightful president, Donald J. Trump, will hold a rally, and you can tell he's still the president.
Dude, is this guy still holding rallies, really? Is Trump still holding rallies? I haven't heard a fucking word about it, and it's been glorious. I haven't had to listen to his voice, like, screeching in my ear about just, all this stupid shit. I don't even need to hear it. I don't even need to look for it or watch it or think about it. Dude is completely fucking irrelevant now, and I love it.
All you have to do is listen to him. He's the president. Hallelujah.
All you have to do is listen to him. He's the president. They treat Trump like he's the Messiah. Really. They really view him and treat him that way. Honestly. It's almost like he's the new Jesus. I'm not being hyperbolic here. That's how they view him. He's part of their theology in an equally as important role in some of these people's theology. Seriously. That's why they speak of him in such a way. That's why they talk about him like he's Jesus. They make comparisons and stuff.
David could have said at any time, I don't want to do this no more. I think I'll just stay in the wilderness.
Comparing Trump to David now.
I've been chased by Saul long enough. But there had to come a time when David said, I'm going back. And that's what you want to pray. That there will be faith arise, because he is the president, and no matter what happens, he's the president, and he's supposed to walk back in that office. So call him back. Call him back.
I'm sorry, man. This just, whether you like it or not, he's not the president. That's just what it is. If he trespasses on White House property, he'll be arrested. I would love to see it. Please, by all means, Trump, do it. He knows exactly what would happen. Trump knows what would happen if he trespassed on White House property. And that's why he doesn't dare.
Call him back. Once he knows the prophets are calling.
He knows this is bullshit. He's spoken disparagingly of evangelical pastors and so-called prophets before. He knows this is bullshit just as much as anybody else.
He'll come. Hallelujah.
But he does, on the other hand, desperately want their support. The enthusiasm that he gets from these people is really, really important and really useful for Trump to use against people. So he will play into it as much as he possibly can. But he knows if he trespassed on White House property, he'd be arrested. He knows that just as well as anybody else, and that's why he doesn't dare.
We're going to have to start publicly talking about that he's the president. People say, really? Why would you say that in public?
Yeah, that's embarrassing, dude. Why would you say that in public? I'm awaiting your answer. Let's have it.
Say that in public. Because he is! That's why I say it. Because he is. Don't mess with us, Satan. Don't mess with us corrupt political regimes. Don't mess with God's people like that, because I'm going to tell you something. If you mess with us, we'll call him back for 3 terms. Don't mess with us. Yes. You've never seen the power of God in action before.
Maybe if I had, I would believe that it was real in the first fucking place. I love it. So you're going to call him back for 3 terms, huh? Well, why don't we start with the second term and see if you can get something done from there? I swear these people live in La La Land. Like, there's just, like, reality is nowhere to be found. Let's read Beth Stoneburner's take on this from the Friendly Atheist website. Sure, and I make 6 figures as a freelance writer. Saying it to yourself over and over doesn't make it true. It's obvious Bullock is just trying to appeal to his own echo chamber. His utter refusal to accept reality makes him pretty disgraceful to the rest of us. Like I said, the guy is disgraceful in what he's saying and doing and what he believes. But I really think this is an ingenious way of getting himself out of that little jam he created for himself by claiming that Trump was going to be inaugurated on January 20th. And when that didn't happen, claiming he's going to be inaugurated on March 4th. And when that didn't happen, what do you do from there? Like, you are in a fucking jam now. You're in a pickle, bro. Well, I guess his choice was to say, Trump's the holdup. Not Biden, not Satan, not anybody else. Trump has to want to. That's an ingenious way of retaining your audience and explaining it away. Although it makes you a scumbag. I'm sorry.